Hey friends, welcome back if you've been here before, and if you're new, I'm so glad you're here. I found this antique buffet on Facebook Marketplace. It was rough, peeling veneer. The drawers, well, they were a little bit damaged, but I saw the potential. Let's bring it back to life. Whew. That is heavy, and this is solid wood. Next up, this piece. Picked it up from Facebook Marketplace for $40. It is heavy, solid wood, and you can tell that by looking on the back side. This is one solid, okay, it's solid wood, but it does have veneer on it, and this veneer is chipped. The drawers are in decent condition. I may have to do some sort of liner because they've been through some things, as you can see. I will sand them down and see how they look after that. But as far as the construction of them, they're solid. A couple of repairs it looks like has been done before, like they cracked, but I think they glued those, so I'll just sand those down, remove the little nail out of the dovetail. Sometimes you can find some treasures behind your drawers. This one's in great condition. Just a little cleaning and a little sanding will do. The hardware needs to go because they are missing quite a few pieces. Deep drawer. This drawer is, let's see, is a little over 8 inches deep. Now you can use this, I think it's a buffet, but I suppose you could also use it as a dresser. I guess I was told, and you can tell here, is that whoever had this added some veneer, because you can see underneath what was there. So we will be taking off all this veneer. This is the original veneer, which these top drawers are in excellent condition, but obviously the bottom has some major problems. I really don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I think it has a ton of potential. The detailing up here, maybe if I try to strip that and do sort of a two-tone paint and wood combination. First things first is I need to remove that veneer, repair anything that needs to be repaired, but most importantly, have fun doing it. So here we go. Look at how big this drawer is. That wasn't too bad, actually. Thankfully, I've had situations where veneer takes forever because it's applied really well. This obviously was not. Just a few places that I can probably just sand down. At one time, these were probably very beautiful. You can actually see some sort of detail that was on here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me give you a different angle. Right in here, something was going on. A little detail. It had all this inlaid work, but unfortunately, the years have just paid a huge toll on it. So either I can re-veneer it, or I'm thinking I'm leaning towards painting. I'm gonna sand this down, but first I'm gonna use my base camp mask, using the one that just straps over my head. Super comfortable again, easy to put on, put off. No fogging up the glasses. I love it. Use my code, guys, IAFT10 for 10% off. Base camp masks, can't go wrong. I will put the link in the description. Get yours today. I'm gonna have to go in with some Bondo. Obviously somebody did something similar at one time, but there are a few more spots that I'll need to fill in. Do I want to strip this? No. Let's see if scraping will work. I might need to strip it just to get off that top coat. Pretty sure I don't want to do this. I want to try to remove this because it would be easier to, will it be easier to strip it? If I try to remove it, what are the chances I break it? Probably pretty good. I wonder if that was added. I don't know what to do. I feel like it'd be easier to strip it if it wasn't on. Okay, we're gonna try. We're gonna try slowly. Must be a nail. Ah, look at that. All right. Success. Might as well remove these too. I think that'll make life a little easier. Remove these nails. Okay, let's see how easy this is going to be. My acetone. Just let it sit on there for a little bit. Definitely a little labor intensive, but less so now that it's on a flat surface rather than trying to contort myself into, a pretzel to try to get all the nooks and crannies when it's on the dresser. Is it worth it? I don't know. Kind of wish I could just soak it in something. Feel like that would be amazing. Is there a difference? Well, here's the before. So yes, let's let it dry completely and see. Let's talk about sanding, because honestly, I feel like 80% of what I do is just sanding. This buffet had layers of old finish, grime, and damaged veneer, so I spent a lot of time with the sander in hand. If you're into instant gratification, flipping furniture might not be your thing, because this part, it takes patience. Okay, this is missing a little chunk, so I'm just going to build it up a little bit to give it some support. And I have some scrap wood. That will work. Just need to measure it out and cut it. I don't have any syringes right now, so I'm just going to use the card. I think that'll work. Looks good. Always need to make sure after you mess with the drawer that it fits. And I'm not sure this will. We'll see. Perfect. It works. Sometimes the old finish on these tops is just stubborn. And instead of sanding for hours or just scraping, I'm using Clean Strip to help break it down. It's not always pretty, but it definitely makes life a little easier when that finish just doesn't want to budge. I need some more. Need to fix this area. This whole back side's got some issues, so I've got some quick wood. I don't have a lot of it. Hopefully I have enough. If not, I'm gonna have to go to this hardware store. All right, so you just mix it around so it's one uniform color. And then what I'll be able to do is put it on here, let it dry, and you can stain this, and I will use my blend all sticks and everything I have to blend everything in eventually. But luckily it's on the back side, so even if it's not perfect, it'll be close. One last repair is on the side here. I need to glue it and then use some Bondo. You can see here. I forgot to put on my base camp mask. Even though I have a filter system, it's still good to wear a mask. Right there. Well, it's all about placing the hardware. Might as well do it now. Let's make sure we're even. Pretty darn close. All right, so I'm just gonna do one. That works. Fantastic. Works for me. I need to put some trim on here. It looks like at some point it's gone. So I'm gonna put some new trim on it, and I have my heat gun. Some people use an iron, but I don't have an iron in here. This works just fine. Where's my scissors? Now it's time to prime these things. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to go in with some filler again. A lot of times you can't tell until you put a coat on. And again, I don't typically spray my primer, and I don't have a roller, so I'm gonna brush it on. I actually don't mind. It actually goes fairly quickly. I want to go with the grain. Possibly paint these tomorrow, just because the Bondo on the dresser, I feel like it needs, well, yeah, it's still a little tacky. And today's kind of humid out. I want to make sure it's completely dry before I sand it down. And a lot of times I prefer, when I paint, I prefer to have that be my main thing of the day rather than starting at the end of the day. Can you guys guess what color I'm going to do? Great. One down. This is why we check everything, because, you know, you sand it down and make sure, but there is some part of the veneer that is struggling to stay on, so I'm just gonna pick it off and then repair it. I think I got it all. All right, come in with some Bondo. My first thought is, well, obviously I'm gonna stain the top, but I thought I could just see what it looks like if I went ahead and stained this decorative trim, and I can always paint it if I don't like it. Trial and error, right? Right in my face. Pretty. Let's see how this one will turn out. I'm okay if there are some stains. It just, you know, it just shows the story of this piece. As long as it's clean, I'm okay with it. So we may not need a liner. I mean, I think it's really pretty, the coloring. Okay. Yeah. It's just ink stains. I'm not mad. Like I said, it tells a little story. Telling you, this drawer is so big. Let's take a before and after. Isn't that crazy? A light at the end of the tunnel, I see it. Starting with those drawers, I cleaned up those interiors and gave them a little love to match their refreshed exterior. And this top, where a few blend-all sticks and a light mist of Mohawk toner helped even out the stubborn spots. Once everything was looking just right, I sealed it all in with a smooth top coat to lock in the finish and add durability. And finally, everyone's favorite part, the hardware. Reattaching it always feels like putting the jewelry on after getting dressed. And just like that, this antique buffet is ready for its next chapter. Let's take a moment to remember where this piece started. Worn, damaged, and left for the scrap. Veneer was missing, drawers were misaligned, and the finish had long lost its luster. But beneath the surface, there was still something worth saving. After hours of sanding, stripping, repairing, toning, and top coating, plus a few pivots along the way, this antique buffet finally found its second life. The top now shows off a beautifully even wood grain. The body wears a timeless black from Melange Paints, New York black, and brand new hardware brings just the right amount of classic charm to the finished look. This piece may not look like it did 100 years ago, but that's the point. It's been reimagined and made ready for a new story. If you enjoyed this transformation, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I have to make a pivot on this piece. I had it all done, and then I realized it is missing some edging right here. It just looks funny, so I wasn't able to find something similar, so I'm gonna need to take all that off and put on something different. I didn't glue that on, so hopefully it'll be fairly easy to take off. Yep, perfect. That came off fairly easy. I have a couple of nails in here, I think. That should come right out. Not much damage at all. I wanted to put this one in, but I think it's too big. Too thick. So that one's out. I'm gonna get them all cut first. All right, I'm going to just put this on, and if I need to, I will stain it again or just give it another coat, which I think it's gonna need. this way. There we go. Just putting some filler here. Thanks. All right, stain this. Much better. Okay, so I thought I was finished. The paint was dry, the hardware was on, the photos were taken, but that missing piece of trim in the corner kept staring at me like, really? You're just gonna leave me like this? I looked everywhere trying to match it. Stores, scraps, even considered carving a piece by hand. Well, maybe not really, but no luck. So I did what anyone slightly unhinged with a need for symmetry would do. I ripped off all the original trim and replaced the entire thing. Sure, most people wouldn't have noticed that small gap, but I would have known. And I think when you're giving something a second life, those details matter. That last 5%, that's what makes it feel finished. So yet this buffet was technically done, and then it wasn't. And now it actually is. I've got plenty more pieces waiting for their moment to shine, because here it's always about flipping time.